What is a woman? Have you ever pondered this question? It sounds straightforward, doesn't it? But scratch beneath the surface and you'll find a world of complexity. This question has sparked debates and discussions, and there's no one-size-fits-all answer. It's not just about biology, but also society, individual identity, and even philosophy. You see, the question, what is a woman, is more than just a query. It's an exploration of human understanding and perception. It's not as simple as it seems, is it? Let's dive deeper into the conversation. From a biological standpoint, defining a woman seems straightforward. It's about the chromosomes, hormones, and the reproductive system. But let's not rush into conclusions, shall we? Let's take a closer look. Usually, a person born with two X chromosomes is considered female. This pair of X chromosomes triggers the development of female physical traits. But what's more interesting is that this is not the only determinant. There are instances where individuals with two X chromosomes exhibit male characteristics due to certain genetic conditions. So it's not just about the chromosomes, is it? Let's move on to the reproductive system. Typically, a woman has a uterus, ovaries, and a pair of mammary glands. These organs are essential for childbearing and breastfeeding, but here's a thought. Does the ability or inability to bear children define a woman? What about those who choose not to have children or are unable to do so due to medical conditions? Are they any less of a woman? Now let's talk hormones. Estrogen and progesterone are primarily associated with women. These hormones regulate menstrual cycles and play a significant role in pregnancy, but it's worth noting that men also have these hormones, albeit in lesser quantities. And there are women with hormonal imbalances where these hormones are not present in the expected amounts. So, the hormonal definition also has its limitations. So, what are we left with? A biological definition that seems straightforward but is filled with exceptions and gray areas. It's clear that biology plays a significant role in defining what a woman is. But even from a purely scientific perspective, it's not as black and white as it may initially appear. The aim here isn't to confuse or complicate things, but rather to demonstrate that the biological definition of a woman, while important, is not the whole story. It's a piece of the puzzle, a part of a more complex and nuanced picture. So, biologically speaking, that's a woman, but is that all there is to it? I think not. Society has its own definition of a woman, often tied to traditional roles and expectations. But what does that really mean? For centuries, societal norms have crafted an image of women that is deeply rooted in culture and tradition. From being caretakers at home to being the emotional anchors of a family, women have been placed into certain roles, creating a societal blueprint of womanhood. When we gaze through the looking glass of history, we see women primarily in nurturing roles. They were the homemakers, the mothers, the sisters, and the daughters, roles that were considered essential but were also limiting. This perception was not just confined to one culture or one part of the world, but was a global phenomenon. However, as societies evolved, the definition of a woman began to transform. The 20th century witnessed a dramatic shift in the societal perception of women. Women started stepping out of their traditional roles, breaking barriers, and creating new paths. They began to assert their individuality and independence, challenging the age-old norms and expectations. The societal view of women today is a complex tapestry woven with threads of traditional roles and modern aspirations. Women are now seen as equals, capable of achieving anything they set their mind to. They are CEOs, astronauts, artists, engineers, and so much more. The societal perception of women now extends beyond the home into the realms of politics, science, arts, and sports. Yet in this evolving narrative, the question remains, does society's perception truly capture the essence of womanhood? Does it acknowledge the unique experiences, challenges, and triumphs that define a woman's life? Or does it merely scratch the surface, painting a picture that is more about societal constructs and less about the individual? Society's perception of a woman has been evolving, but does it capture the essence of womanhood? Let's continue our exploration. Now, what about the individual perspective? How does one's personal identity play into the definition of a woman? The answer to this question is as vast and diverse as the individuals themselves. Each person's understanding of womanhood is influenced by a unique blend of personal experiences, self-identification, and gender identity. Let's start with personal experiences. These are the moments that shape us, the experiences that mold our understanding of the world and our place within it. For some, the definition of a woman is deeply tied to these personal moments. It could be a memory of a mother's strength, a sister's compassion, or a friend's resilience. These experiences help form an individual's understanding of what it means to be a woman, though they are unique and personal to each one of us. Next, we come to self-identification. This is the view from within, the way an individual perceives themselves. Some may identify as a woman based on their personal convictions and feelings, regardless of their biological or societal definitions. This internal identification is a crucial piece of the puzzle. It reminds us that the definition of a woman transcends the physical and societal, reaching into the very heart of personal identity. And then there's gender identity. It's about the personal sense of one's own gender, which can correlate with or differ from the sex assigned at birth. For some, their gender identity as a woman is a deeply ingrained intrinsic part of who they are. It's not about biology or social expectations, but about an inner truth that only they can define. So we see that the individual perspective brings a wealth of depth and complexity to the definition of a woman. It underscores the importance of personal experiences, self-identification, and gender identity, reminding us that every individual has a unique understanding and experience of womanhood. Personal identity adds another layer to our understanding of what it means to be a woman, but our conversation doesn't end here. Let's now venture into the realm of philosophy. How do philosophers define a woman? In the philosophical world, the concept of woman is not merely reduced to biology or societal constructs. Instead, it delves into the abstract, exploring the essence of womanhood through lenses of existentialism, feminism, and ontology. Existentialism, a philosophy that emphasizes individual existence and freedom, posits that a woman defines herself through her actions and choices. She is not just a product of her biology or society, she is a conscious being, shaping her own destiny. A woman in this light is an active participant in crafting her own identity and meaning. Then we have feminism, a philosophical and political movement advocating for women's rights on the grounds of equality. From a feminist perspective, woman is a socio-political category, intricately woven with power relations. It underscores the need to challenge patriarchal structures and advocate for gender equality. A woman, from this viewpoint, is an individual striving for equal rights and opportunities. Ontology, the philosophical study of being and existence, also offers a unique perspective. It suggests that woman is not a fixed entity but a dynamic concept, constantly evolving and transforming. A woman, ontologically speaking, is an ever-changing being, adapting and reshaping herself in response to her environment and experiences. These philosophical perspectives push us beyond the surface, inviting us to grapple with profound questions about identity, existence, and agency. They challenge us to see woman not just as a fixed category, but as a complex, multifaceted concept. So when we ask, what is a woman, we are not seeking a single definitive answer. We are sparking a dialogue, a journey of exploration that delves into the depths of being and becoming. Philosophy broadens our perspective, offering a nuanced understanding of what it means to be a woman. As you can see, the question, what is a woman, is complex and multidimensional. The journey we've taken today has navigated us through the biological, societal, individual, and philosophical perspectives, each adding a unique layer to our understanding. The biological perspective reminds us that women are not merely defined by their physical attributes. Yes, biology plays a part, but it's not the whole story. The societal perspective, on the other hand, underscores how societal norms, cultures, and traditions shape our perceptions of women and how these perceptions evolve over time. The individual perspective emphasizes the importance of personal identity, the unique experiences and self-perceptions that each woman carries. Then we dove into the philosophical perspective, challenging us to think beyond the tangible and question the very essence of what it means to be a woman. It's clear that the question, what is a woman, doesn't have a one-size-fits-all answer. It's a conversation, a dialogue that requires open-mindedness, empathy, and a willingness to learn from each other's experiences. So let's keep this conversation going. Let's continue to explore, question, and understand. Each perspective shared, every story told adds another piece to this complex puzzle. Remember, every conversation adds to our understanding. So share your thoughts, engage in discussions, and keep learning. And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe for more thought-provoking content.